Hi, welcome to the channel. My name's Jesse and this is 7 Foot Designs. So 7 Foot Designs is a new business venture that I've started, and today is actually a big day because we got our first big project to do. So we're going to be building some custom wood benches for a local swim school, H2 Flow. Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity here. And we're going to start out with getting everything measured and cut so I can start doing some glue ups. I thought about this project quite a bit now, and I've got a surprise that wasn't discussed with H2 Flow, but I think they're gonna like it a lot. So hope you enjoy the video and let's get going. Okay, so the bench's height is gonna be 18 inches. And I'll show the finished product in the video once I'm editing. But so the total height's going to be 18 inches. I need these to be 14 and a half because they need to be at least a stud width shorter. So that's 3 and a half, and that gives me 14 and a half total length on the 2x4s. And that's not a 2x4. Oh, let's change that out. So I got 1x4s and 2x4s. So I need 14 and a half on 2x4s, 14 and a half. That's going to be my start here. Okay. I just got this nifty little square. Kind of cool. Still gotta figure out how to use it, but you can tell it came with this nifty pencil too. So everything's pre-marked, so you can take it and it hangs on the side of your board. You can take your pencil and drag your mark. Kind of nifty. And then that's the brand, Artery Master. And then it comes with a little sharpener, because you got to keep that lead point sharp in order to make it into the measurement holes. But it's kind of cool. Actually, I'm gonna put that in my pocket. All right, now let's take these out to the saw. So real quick, these 1x4s, they have the rough side to them. I don't have a planer, so I gotta sand all these on this one side down so they go up properly. So that's what we're gonna do now. Okay, so kind of give you an idea what's going on here. So these are going to be glued up just like this. All right. And then top slats will be like that. You can see that. So it'll be about 17 3/4 wide, and then of course it'll be 18 inches high. So it looks like my cut was a little proud there, but that's all right. I'd rather have it too long than too short. So far so good. So I need 8 of these cut 2x4s for one side of the bench. Now I need 7 of these 1x4s for one side of the bench. So I got a lot more cutting to do. This will give me a good start, and I have a little bit more time to glue a couple sides up. But as you can see, I've still got quite a bit more lumber to cut up. But that's all the time I got for today. Catch you soon. So I got everything cut. I got all the 2x4s cut, 1x4s cut, the rest of the 2x4s. Now I got to do is do glue ups, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to just do the glue up alone, or do I want to drill holes at the end of these and glue a dowel rod through the whole thing. I'm still trying to decide on that, but see what happens. Okay, I got all my boards cut, at least the first ones, which is quite a few. I'm going to start my glue up now. So the deal is we have 8 of these 2x4s and then 7 of the 1x4s. And we're going to just sandwich these together like that. And then, like I showed before, 2x4s will go on top, like so. I'm going to do a roller. I'm using this Type Bond 3 Ultimate Wood Glue because it's made for exterior and it's waterproof. And this is going to be going next to a indoor pool, so need to make it count, right? Let's go. this is going to be the tricky part.
Appliances, discover savings in every department. Plus, with coupon savings from $50 up to $200, creating your dream home has never been easier or more affordable. Take advantage of coupon savings up to $200 during the winter savings event at R.C. Village.
Good morning, Mark. You look handsome. Plaid is such a good color on you.
My friend Alex asked me to beta test his products designed to bring good energy into any room.
Mark, are you going on a date?
I'm in my pajamas.
Job interview?
I prefer to create my own energy. Practicing good energy smart habits to save money, like running my laundry through an extra spin cycle so there's less dryer time.
Mark, those slippers are so you.
To keep good energy in the room, visit Idaho Power.
It's not too bad.
Well, we're learning about nuclear energy. You know, neutrons, electrons, managing underbrush to limit wildfire, muons, positrons.
Healthcare providers in rural areas, necessitating community-level investigations. Veterans get better.
Alpha particles and isotopes. Idaho forests, they help. We have limitless energy.
Well, sounds like we're in good hands.
University of Idaho is Idaho.
We've got you covered with game day deals on pizza, tacos, wings.
Try something
and more.
a little
All
different
season
here.
long. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL.
It's 2 down, so let them set up for 24 hours and see where we're at. I'm thinking I might do the dowels though, but we'll see how strong they are. So it's been about 24 hours now. I'm going to take the vices off of the bench ends and see what we have. I did pick up some dowels today, so I'm thinking I'm probably gonna put some dowels through these just to make sure they're secure. Moment of truth. Not getting any separation, so that's a good sign. Yeah, that's solid. Oh yeah, that's really solid. Yeah. Might do the dowels anyway, but I'm happy with that. That came out really good. I got some cracks here that I'll probably fill in with some more glue tonight, but so far I'm really happy with that. That came out awesome. Go get the other one. It's one solid piece of wood now. That's great. So this is day 3. I got the second glue ups all done. It's been roughly 20 hours since I did them. I have them right here. I'm going to take that one apart. Got the one over here, take that one apart. And then I reapplied some glue in some of these cracks that weren't quite filled. So got that one, got that one down there, but they're looking really good, so I'm happy with them. So let's get these other ones apart and glue up some more. So it's day 4 for glue ups. I'm ready to take apart the third set of sides off the benches. I'm right here. These are looking good. Fill this in with more glue so we don't have any gaps. And then I'm actually going to be taking these sides here and putting them through the CNC to surface this down flat. So this is going to be one smooth surface. Okay, so what is it, day 5 now? It's been about 22 hours since I did the last glue ups. I'm going to take them apart. Here there are some gaps I'm going to have to fill after I take the vices off. Same with these. So these are all ready to go to get surfaced, and then these right here, I just did a surface glue to fill in some more gaps on these. So we're just gonna let those dry. But today's gonna be exciting because we're gonna be taking these and getting them surfaced on the CNC. So there's some gaps here that I want to fill with glue. But let's see, this one right here, that's a big one right here. So we'll get those filled before we surface it. if you're asking why am I gluing everything, well, you know, putting screws in there and then adding a little glue probably would have been a lot faster. But the environment this is going to be in, this is going to be for an indoor pool area, so it's going to be high humidity. I just don't want any metal to eventually be rusting out, because it will eventually rust. So I'm just going to do everything with wood and glue. That's why I'm kind of thinking doing dowels, just to give it an extra bit of strength. I did do a test run with one of my scrap pieces here, and looks like I'll need a 7/8 dowel. I think that's a 7/8. No, that's a 1-inch. Yeah, that's a 1-inch dowel. This is a 7/8. But I'm gonna have to use this bad boy, this auger bit, to go through the whole side here. So I still need to test run that through some wood and see what size I actually need. But the other issue is that I need to figure out, because I'm going through such a wide piece of wood, I need to make sure that this goes in straight. I can't be going off at an angle. So I'm thinking about getting a portable drill press and maybe modifying it, or maybe even making some kind of drill guide of my own. But we'll have to see about that. Okay, setting up my CNC to get these surfaced. So let's get this figured out here. I need 2 of those. Try to get it kind of centered here. Actually, we use something a little bit different. Just to make sure we're going to be square. So this will keep everything squared off for me when I flip these over and change them out. So the question is, which one do I need now? I think this will be a good reference point. I don't think I'll need anything else. I'll probably just double side tape everything down. Then call it good. So don't worry about that one. Or that one. Okay, next order of business. Jump drive. Okay. So I always start with the depth, and then I always kind of make a makeshift shape for what I'm going to go with. So we have depth, length, and width. Digital calipers, inch. Flip this bad boy up. Three. .5. 30. Width, we have 16 7/8. Total length, we have 18, as it should be. Okay. Put that and that. This back. wider two-sided tape for these jobs, but it's what I have. So this is what I'm working with. Squeegee. That's what I was looking just to minimize that kind of limit. Okay. That's got excited with my hex wrench. So before we go to the computer and get a surfacing program built for this, I'll show you this that I'll be using. To surface these. So the surfacing bit I have is called a slab slayer. That's the width of it and the feed and speed, and then the model number. It's made by R.I.P Precision Tools. What makes this thing cool is these blades. So if you chip one of these blades or it starts getting dull on you, all you have to do is unscrew that screw right there and turn it quarter turn, and you're set to go. I've used this quite a bit actually, and it's done really well. I'm very happy with it. And I opted to get an extra blade set just in case, but I mean, between what's on here when you flip them around plus these extra blades, it's gonna last forever. So pretty happy. It is pretty spendy. Can't remember how much it is, but the R.I.P Precision Tools, check them out. FYI, this is not a paid sponsorship. Just showing you what I've used and what I like. Okay, now we're in Carbide Create. This is the CAD program that I do all the design work in. Right here, we're getting the measurements all set into the program. X-axis, Y-axis, the thickness, which is the Z-axis. So I'm doing a surfacing on this block of wood. So I'm just going to need a simple square. Go in there and center it up. Don't need the square to be that wide. So after I center it, I'm going to adjust the size, bring in the sides here. I want the surfacing bit to go across the edges where I'll get these rounded corners that doesn't get touched. So we're going to select pocket toolpath and then go in here to my tools, surfacing bit, slab slayer. And that's the recommended step over, but I always bring it down smaller so I get a better overlap on my bits. It doesn't matter what bit I use, I always make it smaller. Set my max depth of what I want to be surfaced. And then this is the nifty part about this program, and I'm sure other programs do this too, but it has a 3D model rendering of what the machine's going to do with the wood. So you can see it's taking off slivers at each pass it does. Then we save it onto the jump drive and then bring it down to the CNC. Now this is a very simple program. Waiting for it to save. Go back and make sure it is saved. Then we're going to go to the CNC and get this thing going. Okay, got the program all set up. I saved on my thumb drive here. And we're just gonna start getting this CNC up and running here. Get my tablet going. Power to the CNC, power to the spindle. Everything's a go-go. And we have power. See how long it takes for this tablet to boot up. First, while using this surfacing bit, so this is wide open down here, and it needs to go on this sensor. The bit goes on top, but if I do it with this, it'll actually go up in there, in here. You don't want that. You want it to reach the very, very tip here. So the way I get around that is take this thin piece of metal, balance it on there like so. So if you're wondering, yes, it's not going to be perfect because of the depth of this metal, but I've done it several times before. It works out pretty good. Okay, now this is, we're gonna find out if we're in trouble or not here. That cross member clears that just barely, but ooh, I think we're in luck. We're barely in luck. Barely. So, question is, where's the high point? And let's see the high point. I'm just eyeballing it here. Looks like this stud right here is the high point. So we're going to measure on that stud. So we take this piece of paper, how we measure where we need to be. The paper should just catch our bit. Just catch it. I think that's probably good there. Pull that out. And what we do now, since that is our 0 Z, now we have to find our X and Y. So we're just eyeballing the shaft of the surfacing bit to be halfway on the X and the Y lines. So the Y looks like it needs to come in just a little bit. There. And the X. X looks pretty good. So we're gonna set my X to 0, Y to 0, call that done. I'm gonna bring the whole thing up. This is barely gonna work, I think. We're about to find out. We're about to find out if this is gonna work. So, did the first run, went really well. I need to go back and make some depth changes, but this stud right here was the high point, and it flattened it out beautifully. And turns out this stud right here was a little high too, and this 1x4 was a little high, but you can see this is where it didn't hit because it's lower, but then it starts hitting right here. It's gonna make it all look really good. So I'm gonna go back, change the depths, go a little bit deeper so I can get down in these grooves better, so everything is nice and flat. And then once I get the depth that I want, then I'll flip this over on the other side and do it all again. So first end, I got all flattened out. It looks really good. It is perfectly flat now. Get some of these marks from the surfacing bit. I'm gonna get that sanded out next before I flip it over, but I'm happy how it came out. There are some imperfections like here, bit of a gap, but I think I'm just gonna leave those. It gives the piece some character. But all in all, I'm very happy with it. Turned out very good. Okay, bit of an update. I got all these surfaced flat on both sides. Now what I'm doing is taking these, sanding the ends here, and then, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but when I glued these up, I tried to get these even as possible, but they're not quite there. They're a little out of sorts. So what I'm going to be doing is leveling the bottoms of these out with my track saw. And getting those cut and sanded. And then we're going to be going into the real fun part of adding the surprise shortly. Hello again. We're back. Today we're going to do carving on the CNC on these end pieces. So this is going to be the surprise that I'm going to be giving to the client. I'm going to carve out an area on these end pieces, and then I'm going to backfill them with an epoxy inlay of the school's logo right here. I think that'll make a great addition to these benches, and it should come out looking pretty cool. So I'm going to get these carved up, and then I'm going to put a first coat of stain after I get them carved up, because I want to get the stain down in the carving itself, the pocket that I'm making, so that seals the wood down below where I'm going to be putting the epoxy. I might be putting in another protective coating in the pocket, but I'm not sure yet. I probably will, just so I have security of going forward with the epoxy because I do not want the epoxy to be soaking up into this pine wood. So there we are. That's what we're going to be doing today. So right now I'm just going to get the dimensions of the end piece, my X, Y, and my depth of this, and then we're going to go to the computer and get the CAD program booted up, and we're going to get the design going. First, we're going to be doing it's just going to be a circle pocket, so that's going to be real easy to do. The second part will be a logo of a turtle that they have. That'll take some time to put into the CAD program and get that designed up within the circle. But today, it's pretty straightforward. We're gonna get these measured up, get on the program, get a circle carved out, get these stained, and should be ready to rock and roll with epoxy here soon. Okay, we're back in Carbide Create to make the circle pocket. So I'm setting up the X-axis, Y-axis, Z-axis. These need to be more precise than what I did with the surfacing program. I'm getting that all set up right now. And while I'm doing this editing, there was a certain size I wanted to go with. I think I wanted to go with a 12-inch size circle to begin with. I think that's what I do here is go with a 12-inch circle. Try to find the center here. But I do go back and change the size of the circle and the position of the circle, as you'll see later in the video. So I had the top slats that I have to worry about. I wasn't sure if I wanted to center the circle on the lower half where the sides were solid, or center the circle as a complete bench, so including the slats on top. And I eventually changed the size to a 10-inch circle. Yeah, right there. 5-inch radius. But I don't think this is the position I use. I think I shift the circle up so it's centered as a hole on the side of the bench. So go in my toolpaths, and then I just received a new 1/4-inch bit from IDC Woodcraft. It was a new ball nose bit that they just came out with. I was excited to try it out. So here I'm just setting up a new library, setting up that new tool for the Carbide Create library. I do go ahead and use the ball nose bit for this first carve out of the pocket, but ran into a problem using a ball nose. I should have thought about this sooner, but I left a lot of lines at the bottom of the pocket, so I had to switch that out for the rest of the pocket inlays going forward. That say, it was a really good bit. It chewed through the wood great. I'm not sponsored by IDC Woodcraft, but I've started using some of their bits for the CNC, and they're excellent bits. They have one called the Badger. It's a 1/8-inch bit, and another one called the Beast, which is a 1/4-inch bit. And both of those really chew through the wood. Probably the best bits I have that effectively and efficiently carve out wood on my CNC. So here I'm doing the 3D modeling of what's going to happen. These 3D renderings are a great reference. If you don't use them, you should, because it shows you what the tool's going to do. I'm just going to save toolpaths. And we're done. Now we're going to take it down to the CNC and get this party started. So with this pocket cut, I'm going to be using this new IDC Woodcraft 1/4-inch ball nose downcut bit. I've been pretty impressed with their other bits, so I'm excited to use this one. So I'm going to make another change real quick. So the bit did great. I didn't get any chip out on the edge here, which that's what I was going for. But unforeseen, which I should have thought about, because it was a ball nose, I'm getting a lot of these little ridges here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use another downcut bit. Go along with me here to, I was just looking at it. Upcut, downcut. This bad boy, spay tool. So that has a flat end on it. I'll achieve the same thing without getting a rip out on the edges. This has a flat end to it, so I'm going to go back to the program, change this out, and then we're going to go over this one again. But other than the ridges, I mean, it's coming out great. Perfectly centered, perfect circle, going good. So I got everything changed out with the bits, and I'm just now starting the program. See how it goes. Okay, so we got the second one finished up, the circle pocket, and then over here I just got done staining the first end piece. Looks really good. All right, show it to you with the circle. So I'm going to put this piece up, get the second one on here, ready for staining, and then start plugging away at these. Hello world. Okay, another day. We got all the bench ends stained up. Got the circles pocketed out. This is what end product looks like. Looking pretty good. So today I want to hopefully get some epoxy poured in these. My first step right now is I got thinking about it. I don't think epoxy would fall out eventually out of something like this. I don't know. I don't know what the adhesion is like. So I'm just gonna drill some holes, probably 5 holes, to make like little anchors for the epoxy to go into, and it'll stay on the wood. For these being in a very humid environment, because they're going to be an indoor pool, I want to make sure that everything stays in one piece. So I'm just going to take this bad boy, zip some holes in here, not going to go very deep, and then I'm going to put a sealer in here just so I know that the wood is going to be completely sealed off when I pour the epoxy, because I don't want the epoxy to be soaking into this wood. So that's what we're going to be doing. And we're going to be sealing it off with this Hellsman. It's an outdoor sealant, so should be good. was a little worried about that. Might have to stack these differently. Do this. So we're gonna let those cure up. They should be good to go in about 3 or 4 hours. But so far so good. The epoxy, so I'm kind of going off the colors of their logo for the facility, but it has purple. I'm going with a blue, and then they have a turtle inside of a circle, and I'm going to do the turtle this green color. So this is the plan. Most of the circle is going to be purple, and then I'm going to take this blue and put it on the bottom here, and it's going to kind of blend into the purple. So it'll go blue, purple, and then once that epoxy is cured completely, I'm going to go back with the CNC and then do their turtle design, and then I'll backfill that with this green. But that's the plan. Okay, it's epoxy day. Got everything lined up here. So let's get started. looks like I have to only do 4 at a time here. I was going to stack all these ends up and put slats underneath them so they could vent, but coming over and looking at the ones that I've already done, I'm still getting some bubbles forming. So I'm just gonna have to watch these for a little while and just zap them with the heat gun while they sit here for a few hours. But they look great. The effect that I was going for, spot on. Absolutely spot on. They look great. So I'll have to get these done later whenever I can able to stack these. Okay, back at it again. Round 2 for the epoxy pours. Getting everything set up for mixing. Probably definitely be using the rest of this Beast Bond epoxy. See how far that gets me. If I'm lucky, that's all I'll need, but we'll see. Got my other end pieces lined up. I got my pieces from yesterday stacked up, and they're already nice and hard. So I was thinking I'll probably let these sit for 5 days, but I might get away with just 3 days, and then I'm going to do the turtle engraving and fill that up with epoxy. So sooner than later, I believe, because this turned out really well. There's a few of these. I think this one and this one right here. I didn't fill it up high enough. It's still gonna look good, but I don't know if the camera can see how that is raised just above the wood. That's what I wanted on all of them, but didn't quite get them. Maybe I'll take this one out real quick. Then this one, it's just below the wood line, but minor detail, still gonna look great. So let's get rocking. See what we get away with here. Okay, got this other resin. It's nice, it comes with pumps. This was another one I got on Amazon. It was on sale, so I give it a try. Garbage. So that was a cleaner process than yesterday. Yesterday my left hand was covered in epoxy. I had to change gloves. Okay, here we go. Don't need that anymore. Well, actually I am going to need that. Get another of these. Add more to this one. Wood chips. Don't need these right now. Okay. Do a little babysitting today and wait a few more days, see how the first ones are cured before I start carving into those. Adios. Okay, we are back in Carbide Create doing the turtle pocket. So I basically just copied the logo from the swim school webpage, and now I'm in the program and editing all the nodes to fit the circle that I had filled with epoxy. This editing process takes quite a bit of time because you have to go through all the nodes and rearrange everything. So this specific little piece right here on the fin of the turtle, I actually don't get this right the first time. I don't bring the lines in enough, and I actually get it on the CNC and find out that it carves just outside the circle line. It wasn't very much, but it was something I had to go back and edit again to bring those lines in, so I didn't have a carve out of the circle. Because right here you can see that I'm putting it right on the circle, and that didn't work out for me. But it was an easy fix, and we got through it. Just finishing up the editing on the nodes. Looking pretty good. I was having an issue with the center of the shell though. I had a hard time figuring out how to reverse the pocket. It took me a minute to figure that out, but I eventually got it. And then here I'm messing around with the different tools, which bits I want to use. Because I want to make a clean job, but fast and efficient job as well. So I was looking at the tool paths, seeing what I had. And this part of the programming can take a minute too, especially when you're getting more fine detail work. It really matters of what bit you're going to be using. This was a simple pocket inlay, but at the same time, it's a lot of epoxy. I never did this much epoxy for a pocket before, so I was kind of feeling my way through this whole process with the new material and which bits I wanted to use. So here I'm just getting the final work done, making sure everything looks good. Got the 3D rendering, watching it how it's going to carve out onto the wood. And it's looking pretty good. All right, today's a big day. We got all the epoxy pockets with the circles done up. They are cured up. And usually how you can kind of test is if you can put your fingernail into it and there's no marking. It should be good to go. This particular one, I've looked at them all, but this particular one, you can't really see it in the camera. And right there, you can see some dimpling where I put those anchor points, but the rest of them look pretty good. So, I worked on the turtle logo. That took me quite a while. I had some issues getting the inner part worked out where the proper pocket needed to be carved out, but I got it, and we're gonna see if everything lines up to these circles. It should. I'm hoping for the best. So let's go. Not sure what happened there. Just gonna have to redo it. Maybe my spindle quit turning. Let me see here. Spindle is acting up. Let's reset everything here. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen often. Okay. Should be good to go. Done. Start job. Start. Okay, we had a small hiccup with the spindle going out on me, but we got it going again. It's been doing that lately. I don't know what's going on with it. I have to reach out to Carbide Create. But restarted the program. Came out great. There are a few things I need to go back in the program with. Right here, took out some of the wood, so it went a little wider than the circle. But those are easy fixes. I'll just go back in the program and edit those nodes and just bring them in a little bit. That shouldn't take too long to do, but everything else, it looks awesome. It absolutely looks awesome. I'm happy with it. All right, be back soon. Okay, we got all the epoxy carved out with the turtle, and they all look awesome. So now I'm getting set up to pour the epoxy into the turtle pockets. And we're gonna go with this color right here. I think that'll look good. It's a good sea turtle green, I believe. The actual color is turquoise, but I think it's gonna look awesome. So okay, here we are. They're all poured. Pretty happy how they're coming out. So I even had extra epoxy, so I got the right amount. I'm happy with that too. But here they are. So I'll babysit these for next few hours with the heat gun. Make sure I get the air bubbles out, but looking great. Okay, we're getting down to the finish line here. We got the turtle inlays all done. They're pretty much cured up. Still a little soft, but they're good to go. And now we stain. Got everything prepped up here. Can't quite fit all the boards on my little rack. I still have these down here, but hopefully we can get these stained tonight. I got like 20 minutes left on my card here, so let's see how fast I can get this done. Okay, SD card ran out, so I had to get it formatted. The videos transferred over to another bigger drive, and then took a shower and ate some dinner when that was going on. So I got most of the sides done already. Now I'm just hoping to get the rest of them finished up here. So it's almost 7 o'clock in the morning. Couldn't sleep anymore. Got all these done last night. So these have been on the rack drying. I just stacked them up here. Now I'm gonna get the rest of these going. So these are dry by the end of the day, and I can start getting some sealant on them. Then once we get the sealant on, I'll probably get these sealed. Then we're going to start gluing them up. Start getting this thing finished. Sitting here in my garage procrastinating this next step. I need to get it done. Next step's going to be putting this Hillsman coat on the stain boards. The long 2x4s to be exact. I'm going to wait until I do the glue up to do the ends with this. But it's going to take a while because I'm going to use a brush this time, so I don't get any run spots with the top coat. So I guess I'll get started. Might take me an hour or so. We'll see. So I got all the top coat on the cross members for the benches. Been sitting overnight. And they're still a little tacky, but I'm gonna go ahead and pick these up, stack them up, so I can start getting a coat on these, so I can start gluing them up hopefully tonight. Okay, today's a big day because I kind of had yesterday burn a lot of time because the top coat on these wasn't drying fast enough, so I just let them dry 24 hours. They're all dried up. I still need to do the fronts, but I'm going to do that after I glue them all up. But today I got thinking, so these 2x4s, they're not perfect. Some of them are smooth, but then you have a lot of rough edges. And then of course we have ones with the knots and then like really rough texture right there. I was thinking about just sanding those down and then restaining and putting a top coat on, but I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna run these through my CNC and use my slab slayer surfacing bit. So I'm gonna get all my dimensions here and get a program set up, and what I'm going to do is set them up through there and then do half a board at a time, and I should be able to repeat the program over and over. So do one half of the board, flip it over, do the next, and then get the other board. So most of my morning is probably going to be doing that, but I think it's going to be a lot better because I was giving this a lot of thought, and if it was like a park bench or something, I probably would have just left it. But this is going to be in a swim school. Kids are going to be in their swimsuits. They're going to be sitting down. They're not going to want to sit down on a rough edge. So if I can smooth that out, it'd be a lot better. Be much better. So we're going to take some time and do that today, and then hopefully after I get all those surfaced at the top, I already have them oriented to what top I want. So we're going to spend some time and do a little extra to get the job done right. Okay, I got all the 2x4s surfaced, the top surfaced, and it took me about 4.5 hours to do all those. It took me a lot longer than I anticipated, but they're all surfaced, they're all flat, they're nice and smooth. So, and I even sanded them, so they should be good to go. And now we're just going to start popping these in and gluing them up as we go. Hopefully they don't give me too much trouble. Get this done in less than an hour, hopefully, but we'll see. Cross my fingers. Knock on wood. Well, so much for an hour. It took me 2 hours to get these done, but they're glued and viced. So we'll let these sit for overnight, probably half of the day tomorrow, and then I'll start assessing these. Some of these got jousted out a little bit further, but I think I'll just take a handheld planer to those and then sand them down flat. But other than that, I mean, they look good. They're solid. They are solid. So, till tomorrow. Okay. The glue's been set up for 15 hours now. A couple hours ago, I did check the first bench I did last night, which was this one right here. I took the clamps off, and this front board here fell off. So I'm going to do something different here. I did re-glue it this morning, so there is some fresh glue in there. But we're going to do something different. I didn't want to do it, but what's the saying? Adapt, improvise, and overcome. That's what we're going to do. So what we're going to do, I got these timber screws, 5 inches. We're going to find the center mark right through there and drill these bad boys in. And that's going to anchor these front boards up. I didn't want to do that because, well, it's metal and it's going to be in a humid environment, but they are outdoor rated, so they should be fine. So we're going to do that right now. Okay, we're going to try this headpiece thing. Should, I think. Show what I'm doing. Okay, got the first ones in. Went in really well. Easy peasy. Oh. Okay, we're getting to the finish line here. Got it all stained up. End pieces all leveled out, sanded, stained. Now we're going to put urethane on the tops and the sides, and then these little sections on the end here where I didn't get them before. But we are at the finish line, so we're going to put a coat of that urethane on in those spots, and then we have my brand to mark them, and we have the foot hardware to put on. We'll be doing that tomorrow after the urethane's all dried up. So close, so close. We're almost there. Okay, we're back. Got the top coat on all the benches. It's been sitting overnight. Feeling pretty good. I'd say it's cured up. I did have some dripping on the epoxy inlay I noticed last night, but I took some rubbing alcohol and paper towel and it cleaned up nicely. Looks like there's some right there. All in all, they look really good. They're stout. Came out really good. I'm happy with them. So now we're gonna flip these over onto the tops, and then I'm going to put feet, these levelers on the bottoms of them. So we're going on that right now. Okay, here we are, all finished up. Got my brand on there. Hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. So real quick, I want to go over the finished product here. Now, I originally wanted to put wooden dowels in the ends here where I put the timber screws, but I decided against it because it wasn't cost effective for me to get a portable drill press or modify one. So I went with the timber screws and the self levelers I put on at the end. I did that because the concrete in the pull area was uneven. So I didn't want these to be wobbling anywhere, and it was a great solution for that. And plus, the added benefit, it would raise the benches off the concrete. So if there was water pooling up on the concrete, the benches wouldn't be sitting in the water, and the wood was going to be elevated. So it was a great solution for that. That's why I put those in. But all in all, they look great.